change my view.
Hello there, and welcome to the Rogue Podcast, a Star Wars show. It has been a while since our Andor Season 1 recap. We're back. We haven't been around for a while. I think originally our plan was to go through every episode of The Bad Batch, but then The Bad Batch came out and we said, nah. So I think that what we're going to do today is we're going to review and recap kind of like the last season or the first half of season 1 or season 2 of The Bad Batch, and go over the highs and lows of the season and just kind of what we thought of it so far. We won't go too in depth, but just kind of our general opinions and what we maybe will see going forward or what we'd like to see. Then we'll go dive into Mandalorian season 3 preview. I think that's the conversation we're all really excited for, as well as talking about some video game news and anything else Star Wars that happens to pop up. So hope you guys enjoy the show, and we'll get right into it. So, Bad Batch Season 2. It's had some good episodes, but the majority, I'd say, has been a little lackluster.
Yeah.
I think you guys would all agree.
I think it's about half and half.
David, you are muted.
We need your wisdom, David. Unmute yourself.
I think there's been 4 good ones, if I remember correctly.
That's generous. I can only remember 2. 1.
I enjoy everything with like Jedi Survivors of Order 66. It's kind of just like a generic. Yeah, so like I'm just gonna. Wasn't there 2 of them though? Wasn't there a part 1 and 2?
Nope, just
no.
one.
There was just one.
No, just one.
Okay.
Yeah, that episode was fine. It was interesting. It was nothing like amazing, but it was fine. The 2 episodes that took place on Coruscant, I really enjoyed. I thought they were really solid.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The episode with Cody and Crosshair, I thought was really good. Those 4 were really solid. I wish that the whole show was more along that vein, where like each episode had weight to it. You know, I mean the Wookiee one didn't have a ton of weight to it, but seeing a Jedi again and trying to rescue a Wookiee Jedi is pretty cool. I think CJ loves that episode just because he likes Wookiees. So that was literally the conversation we had. We were gaming one night after that episode. I was like, CJ, how'd you like it? He said, oh, I really liked it. I said, really, why?
It's true.
He says, I like Wookiees. that was
Hashtag deep.
I like corn.
I get that.
I like Wookiee.
It's Wookiees.
It's true.
And then the episode with Crosshair and Cody was really good. Really, when they dive into the story of the clones after Order 66 and what they're doing, it's really interesting to me. It's funny to me because the Bad Batch themselves is the least interesting part of the show.
Which is unfortunate.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
it's just like they're not evolving as characters at all.
I would disagree with that, actually.
Think so?
I think this most recent episode, Tech is starting to evolve.
Yeah, Tech is, I would say, and then Echo did.
But barely.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some character development. Tech, you got to learn a little bit about who Tech is and how he works in that racing episode. And then the most recent episode, he started.
But we already knew that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
nothing
new.
Surprising.
We just got to know him a little bit better. But then this most recent episode, just him kind of realizing like there's more to the world than just psychoanalyzing every little thing. But then he also kind of explained, I still have those feelings that you have and stuff. But I just process them differently. So I actually thought this most recent episode was pretty good in my opinion. I enjoyed it. It was annoying because it was the exact same plot as every other episode. Go on dangerous mission. Omega wanders off. Something happens. It's not just something happens. Omega wanders off and then something happens. It was funny. I was talking to a buddy today at baseball practice. And he's like, oh, it's just funny. Like every episode is like go on a mission and Omega wanders off and something happens. I said, have you seen the most recent episode yet? He said, no, I haven't. I said, well, you're right again.
The ship.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
It's just something very basic that they.
I was just like, wait, you leave the keys in the ignition? Like, is this a thing?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I understand if you're running into Little Caesars to get your hot and ready and you're running right back out, but no,
but
you guys are.
And they were actually
up a franchise
aware that there were marauders too. It's not like there are marauders in the area.
Wasn't a surprise.
Yeah.
So in that episode, I've seen a lot of people saying like they think that Sid set them up.
That would make no sense.
Because
I could see it happening, but it would
Yeah.
make no sense after all they've done for her.
Well, I think it does. That person in the casino, or not in the casino, on the gambling track warned Omega. They're like, look out for her. She will cross you. That's definitely foreshadowing. She's going to betray them. That's just how shows work. If someone says something like that, it means that they're going to cross
Yeah,
them.
no, that's true.
So
It's just lame.
So
Derived.
hey,
It's
Slimy
obvious.
Sauce, how you doing? So yeah, it is obvious, but if that's what they're doing, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me, because if that's the case, why would she warn them about the Marauders, you know, like these bandits? I keep saying Marauders. Marauders is the name of their ship, but
Because if they didn't warn, if she didn't warn them, they would have locked their vehicle and they wouldn't have had any problems. But the fact that she warned them means that
Omega doesn't want
because it doesn't make sense that like they have this valuable stuff for her, and she wouldn't send a ship for them. You know what I mean? She's like, I'm a little tied up. You know,
the coaxium,
yeah, coaxium. What's it actually called?
ipsium.
Ipsium, yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to read that because like you're like,
actually,
go ahead, CJ.
I was gonna say I actually don't think Sid is gonna betray them.
You don't think so?
I think what's gonna happen is she's gonna have the opportunity to, and she's gonna want to.
And she'll say
she's gonna turn
And
good
she'll
at the
decide.
last second.
Yeah.
Because this is a children's show. That's how they do it.
and
Yeah.
hope.
We can talk
And
about
hope.
that for a while. I'm debating if this is a kid show or not.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sure
about
everyone
50-50.
because that's everyone's would ever be anyone's fallback to defend the show, saying it's a kid show.
Absolutely.
But would you show your kid episode? Was it 1 or 2?
Yeah, I think it was 3.
3 when
With Crosshair.
no when the dude literally kills the clone.
Oh, just shoots him right in the face.
Yeah,
That was episode 2.
it's like I wouldn't want my 8-year-old kid seeing that.
I mean, my newborn watched it with me, so.
Well,
Yeah,
she's
I
not,
would. I personally would, but
I
I mean, with a cartoon, I would. If it was like live action, I probably wouldn't. But that's just
see.
parenting styles.
Then you're feeding
Advertising?
the arguments that animation isn't as good as live action.
No, it's just
those
not.
people.
It's not as real.
So there's a clear-cut line between.
Well, yeah, I mean, like seeing someone. So like, there's watching a documentary and watching people die. That's really like I've watched some like the Ukraine stuff and whatever. Yeah, that's messes with your head seeing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then like
Syria.
seeing like live action someone die, it's gonna have a little more of a weight on it than like watching someone die in a cartoon. So.
Except the CW.
Yeah, except the season.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, that's a tangent.
That's a totally different conversation.
It's a good one though.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I would let my kid watch it. So I would definitely say it's majority a kid show that recognizes it has adult viewers, I think is the best way to put it. So the thing I don't understand is kids like a good story, especially the more and more kids get in. Like kids are older and older. You know what I mean?
That is a profound statement. Kids are older and older.
Well, like seriously,
I know what
not
you
like,
mean.
The
Like,
kids
they're
are
more-
so much mature in a way, like as far as what they're exposed to the world with right now, compared to.
Which maybe that's the problem with society. Maybe we should go down that rabbit hole.
Well, I mean, it's definitely
I
a
think
problem.
that's a different.
Take away the monster
podcast.
cans.
It's definitely a problem. But
Yeah,
like
take it
kids,
away.
my 7th grade students were watching Squid Game. Okay, so I think that kids can handle Clone Wars. But
I couldn't.
couldn't handle Clone Wars or Squid Game.
I wouldn't have been able to handle Squid Games in 7th grade.
Oh, dude, I could barely handle it as an adult. I was like,
Yeah,
dang.
I have purposely stayed away from that.
Yeah, it's intense, man.
Pretty depressing show.
But it is weird because we get these episodes where they're just going on these little missions and stuff, like the racing episode. If I was a kid, I would have liked that. You know,
Yeah.
it would have been fun. But just, you know, as an adult watching a cartoon, so you want it all to be season 6 of the Clone Wars. You know what I mean? Or you have season 6? Yeah.
7.
7. Yes, thank you. Except for the Martell sisters, but.
Yeah. Which is normal. The normal Clone Wars that we got.
Overall, I haven't been extremely impressed by season 2 of the Bad Batch, but those last 2 episodes with Palpatine and all the Rex involved on Clone Wars, man, it was so good. I just loved seeing like the story of the clones trying to figure out what's next for them. Even seeing Senator Chuchi was her name, right?
Yep.
Senator Chuchi.
Kind of fighting for him. It was just an interesting story, just kind of see what path they go down, and then seeing how Palpatine just manipulated it all to his benefit. You know, like he totally had this plan that he wanted to do. Clones throw a wrench in it, and he's like, "Sorry, I'm too smart for you. I will politically weave this to my benefit." Like that was just, it was really cool to see. We don't see a lot of that stuff in Star Wars.
I am the Senate.
It was really cool having Senator Chuchi get the veterans vote. That was smart. It was a smart move.
Getting the veterans vote? What do you mean?
For Senate. She now has the veterans vote.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Politics, like you lobby to people to get them to vote for you.
For her in
Oh, I get what you're saying. Like the demographic that she's trying to get.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Imagine there's millions.
Except I don't think any clones are voting for the senator of Pantora.
I don't think anyone votes for anyone.
Nor do I think their votes count.
Yeah.
No, I think each planet votes for their senator.
Yeah, but I don't think clones get to vote.
No, I don't believe so either.
I
So
think the
John,
rights are stripped.
stupid joke, John. It falls apart as soon as you look into it.
You know, maybe
Terrible.
they should have a vote. Maybe that's
I
what
mean,
she's fighting for as well.
John,
Camino-
we don't
Camino
believe in
got an
democracy
argument.
in the Empire.
Camino got a vote.
Yeah.
When they
to
started-
die.
When they're like
Like
5
blasters
citizens.
or torpedoes.
But I thought that was all really interesting, kind of how they tore Rampart apart, and then the Empire didn't back him at all. And
Oh, I was fully expecting that to happen.
Yeah.
Honestly, like
yeah,
I didn't think they
Expendable.
would have. I honestly didn't think they would have to do that. I thought Palpatine would have came like
and
way
just stopped
sooner
the whole thing from
and just
happening.
been like, ah.
Yeah, but like if Palpatine would have gotten involved early on, those clones would be dead. So it had to stay really low profile, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
Well, and that's the thing too with like you say it's like really interesting about like seeing how the clones react to the transition between power and clones to stormtroopers and yada yada yada, the transition. But in reality, it's just like the transition of Old Yeller. Like we all know it's coming.
yeah. So like I feel like with the clones, there's gonna have to be some kind of execution order or
Yeah.
something.
Well,
Because-
I heard Reverse Order 66 is gonna happen, and I was just like,
Where they go after
like,
Palps.
oh, what is this like? What is this like 33 or 66?
Well, I know Order 65 in Legends is like where the Jedi would enact it to kill Palpatine, but I mean that's never actually the thing in canon.
yeah.
But
Weird.
which is memes.
But where was I going with this? Oh, so with the clones, you got to think about like millions of clones are never seen really in Star Wars again. And we saw them in Kenobi. We saw that one clone from the 501st left over, and the few that are scattered around by the time we get to Rebels. But you would think if the Empire abandons them like this, like the clones are pretty morally strong beings, wouldn't you think that they would join a rebellion pretty quickly? If they're just like said, go out.
How long do you think they would? Well, they aged out.
Well, by the time they get to Rebels, Rex was a first generation clone, and he's like looks like he's in his 50s.
And then it got weaker as the generations went on. They got weaker because the strain was thinner.
Yeah.
So they
So-
probably aged faster.
But I don't
then-
think that they'd all be dead though. Like I feel
Yeah,
like
because
they're
like that.
Go ahead.
The morally strong clones were only morally strong because they worked with the Jedi. All the other ones, if you remember, they had to be encouraged by the Jedi to actually care that they were individual. So I feel like Palpatine could prey on their...
That's true. I think the majority of clones probably just acted like droids. Like it was always like these ones that we saw in Clone Wars that were interacting with Jedi would often be talking about how they weren't just clones, you know. Although that's not necessarily
Not
true
to me.
either.
And
That's
they
not
would always say
necessarily
like
true.
normies.
Yeah.
Like distinguish between normies and not.
But then you look at Domino Squad.
The regs. Yeah, the regs.
Domino Squad was always talking about how they're not just clones or not just droids and how they're more than that, you know.
Which
They're not
squad was
normies.
that?
That's the Heavy and Echo and Fives.
I mean,
Remember the cadets. Even when they were cadets, they would talk
Yeah.
about how they're more than just numbers and stuff.
I mean, just like reality, you have people that are ambitious in
I
your
suppose.
job, and you have people that are just like, I'm
So
here to...
do you think that the
collect a
clones?
paycheck.
I guess that's just our theory here. Do we think that the clones are going to just be pretty much said, here's your retirement package, go live out your life, or is the Empire going to put a hit on them, or what?
We're gonna take him to the retirement center.
They all have inhibitor chips.
What do you
they all
think's
have
actually
inhibitor
going to
chips.
happen?
Can't they just activate the inhibitor chip to fry their brain?
Is that a function the chip has? Have we seen?
I would assume so.
Super easy. I mean, I can't imagine it wouldn't be.
I mean, I know it hurts.
Do you
their
think that like the
brain.
command center for that still exists, or was that in Camino?
I'm sure.
It could be an order
Yeah.
where, like,
I don't know.
Like
I don't
Palpatine?
feel like Bad Batch is mature enough to have all of the millions of clones' brains fried. I don't feel like that's going to happen. And if that was the case,
So they just end the show without resolving that plot.
I feel like they can't. That's what I'm saying. What do you think's going to happen? I just don't think that they're going to fry their brains.
Palpatine is going to get in some target practice with his Force lightning.
That would be cool to see.
And they destroyed Camino, so like I don't see why they can't just outright murder them all with the Navy.
Yeah, but secretly.
Like,
Yeah, it'd have
like
to
with
be
the Navy. You can't. I mean, just like we talked about, like the realism difference between like a real movie and not. If you're using the Navy, it doesn't count. They're not real people anymore, right?
Because they're inside of a ship. You can't see them.
Yeah,
die. I know.
exactly.
It's actually really funny because in that episode on Coruscant, I noticed this. They were using their stuns on all the clones, right? Like, we don't want to kill anybody. But then as soon as there's clones inside of ships, they just like blowing them all up.
Yeah.
Like those A-Wings.
Yeah.
They're like, I ain't using a stun on you. You're dead.
Yeah.
V-wings. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, V-Wings, yeah. So I was like, so your
They
morals
could do something.
only
well,
extended when you can see them.
it's kind of too past this point, and the clones are starting to figure it out. But they could do something where it's like, hey, all clones, come back and help us train the stormtroopers.
Oh,
and
so
then
like calling the
use
Jedi
live-
back to the Jedi Temple.
Yeah, exactly.
But they use them in training and just kind of wear them out and do like, let's do a live fire round to make it as realistic as possible. And it's
Well,
like,
maybe they
whoops,
do something
knocks
like
them
that
off.
because, like, we know that the Republic Commandos were training the stormtroopers on that planet in season 1.
The Bad
So-
Batch.
No, the Commandos. Remember in season 1 when they went and found Gregor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Good times.
at the end of season 1, and there were a bunch of Commandos all over that were training those clones. So maybe they'll be using a capacity like that, but they're just not going to be part of the army anymore. I don't know. It'll be weird. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more deserters. Hopefully, I hope that we see Rex and Echo missions. That's what I really want to see. Because I think.
like, does Echo know the Force now?
What?
Are we going to talk about this? She
What?
meditated. The last
She
episode.
did.
Not
Oh,
this
you mean
episode.
Omega?
The last episode. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought she was gonna find a bunch of kyber crystals. I thought she happened upon a huge deposit of kyber crystals.
I never went there.
I was just like, give me something that is good and interesting.
So I want your thoughts on this with Echo leaving. How'd you guys feel about that?
They're a team. They're the Bad Batch before Echo, and they're a Bad Batch after the
But I
after
feel like
Echo.
the team is so small now.
Yeah, it is. With
Echo
3 people.
didn't really do anything.
I know.
Let's be honest.
I know.
Yeah, he was very like a plain clone that had like robot parts.
Which is so lame because that's not who he was in the Clone Wars.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was the heart, wasn't he? The heart
Yeah.
and kind of like the.
Him and Fives.
Come on,
were-
guys, let's keep going.
Yeah. Him and
Yeah.
Fives were. So I just felt like there's a disservice to his character. Like I understand. I feel like the one thing they did do well is explaining why he left the team. Like he just didn't feel like he had a purpose with what he was doing. There was just like the purpose was to survive. You know what I mean? He
Yeah,
felt
the
like-
writers. I mean, they didn't give him a purpose,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. So giving him a purpose of like actually
True.
fighting the fight made sense for why he left. But in my opinion, the two most interesting characters, at least Echo's interesting to me because I liked him from the Clone Wars. But the two most interesting characters of the Bad Batch were Echo and Crosshair, and now they're not part of the show anymore.
yeah, agreed.
So
Because now it's just the A team.
yeah, now
season,
you have
like-
little girl, big boy, smart guy, and Hunter. So
Yeah, pretty much.
So we got Hunter.
But in which-
yeah.
Sorry, guys.
I know. So it is just discouraging. I'm hoping that like this will start to climax into like a bigger overall story instead of just these little side missions, because it just gets so repetitive, you know, especially when nothing comes of it. So
Yeah, I feel like when I watched the show, I turned it on. I watched like the first 5 minutes. I tune out the next like 10 or so, and then I like tune back in for the end.
I mean, some things about this one that were good, like this last episode, the visual effects and music was pretty solid. Like,
Yeah, they're always great.
Yeah, it's just I just wish that we would just get a better story. It just seems like it was written kind of haphazardly. All right, any other comments on Bad Batch?
I had something earlier. What was it? I mean, it's cool that they're using Ian McDiarmid
Yeah.
for Palpatine. I'd say that's
Time.
probably a Disney push. Without Disney, that probably wouldn't be happening.
What do you mean? Like if it was just like a Lucasfilm thing?
Yeah, I feel like
Just
because
a
he
lot of
never
money,
came
probably.
back until Star Wars Rebels.
Because Sam Witwer always did it.
No.
Yeah,
It was
Sam Witwer did Palpatine.
in Clone Wars.
Yep.
No,
Did Maul? He really
No,
did
he
Clone
didn't.
Wars?
no, he didn't. He did it in the Star Wars
Who
Lego.
voiced Palpatine in Clone Wars?
He passed away during season 5, and they had to revoice him with Tim Curry,
Wait, who passed away?
the original voice
Sam
of Palpatine.
Witwer voiced Palpatine in Rebels.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
I thought that was Ian McDiarmid in the latter seasons of
Sam Witwer.
Rebels.
Looking at it right now.
on IMDb.
Yep.
Okay, well, what about Clone Wars? It was an older guy.
Clive.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's Empire Strikes Back. Oh, Ian Abercrombie.
Yes.
Oh, it's a different Ian.
He's older, and yeah, he passed away in
Dude,
season
the guy is
5.
old as dirt.
Well, he's
He
now
was-
resting in peace.
He was old as dirt.
Which so they changed the voice during
Yeah,
Ahsoka's
They changed
Senate
to
hearing.
Nick Jameson.
Really, Nick? I thought it was Tim Curry
Nope. Nick Jameson was the second guy.
because he was like,
Seth MacFarlane does it in
Ahsoka.
Robot Chicken.
I
Yeah,
knew
but
it.
Seth MacFarlane also did the Squid in Invincible, and he was not good.
The squid?
The-
Really?
Yeah.
What squid?
It's like the alien from the other planet.
No, that was Seth Rogen.
Oh, you're right, MacFarlane.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
All right, I think
Different topic.
Star Wars Rebels mixed Sam
Maybe.
Witwer
I'm
and
just
Ian
looking at
McDiarmid.
I'm just looking at Sam Witwer for Star Wars Rebels as a credit.
Because
I'd
I know I'm like 99.99% sure the scenes where it was Palpatine and
Ezra
Ezra, that was Ian.
in the
Hands down.
You're talking
In
about
the
you're talking about
room.
the ones in the World Between Worlds?
The vision
Yeah.
and the world between worlds when he's like getting into the mural.
Run.
When
Yeah.
else did we see
That's what
Palpatine?
I'm trying to remember why it would be.
We saw the ones where he was a vision of him as Chancellor Palpatine, where he was like wasn't the Emperor, you know.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Hmm.
We can keep talking.
All right, so overall, is there anything you guys think we're gonna see going forward that you wanted to bring up, or not really? Any theories? I didn't prepare a theory or anything, so I don't know if you guys had one.
How many episodes were in the
There's
first?
16, so we should have
16.
9 left, or no?
6 left.
6
left.
Have we had 9?
Oh wait, no, it's not the 22nd yet.
So we've got 7 left.
Yeah, 7 left.
So it'll be interesting having Bad Batch and Mando running, because aren't they both coming out on Wednesdays? No, Mando's gonna be coming out on the 1st.
I see.
Which-
Mando sounds like a Friday show, dude.
When's March 1st?
Don't know.
Witwer was Palpatine in season 2 of Rebels when Vader went before him in a.
That's what I do. That's what I
Hologram.
figured. I thought there was like some part where Vader actually got brought in because they always introduced Vader into a storyline by the Emperor saying, "Hey, you actually need to go do something."
Oh
Brett."
yeah, he was like,
Fine.
"There's a rebel rising on Lothal. You need to go
Yeah.
take
And I
care
think
of it."
there's
right.
signs of a Jedi or
March 1st is a Wednesday, so we're gonna be getting Bad Batch and Mando on the same day.
Wednesday.
I
really.
wonder if like the second episode is gonna drop on Friday or something. Then it'll be on Fridays after that.
Second
Why
episode
did-
of Mando.
Why do
No.
people do that? Why do they do that?
Because
Maybe it's
there's
just
hype.
easier to...
There's hype, so you get 2.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess, but that doesn't like keep.
Because
your
didn't
money
they do
going.
that before? Did they do that?
Yes.
Andor, they dropped 2 on Wednesday and they dropped the third one on
Yeah.
Friday, right?
Yeah.
No, it was all in one day.
They did 3 at once because all 3 pertain to one arc.
I'm pretty
One
sure-
lame, boring arc.
because they did the
Hey, I like Andor. You know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I liked it too. Like it was slow. Like
Yeah,
the pacing was rough.
1, 2, 3 dropped on September 21st.
The pacing was rough, but like still.
Okay, Mando season 3. So for
Mando
those of you,
season 3.
For those of you that did not watch the Book of Boba Fett, which if you're watching this YouTube channel, you probably did, or you're one of my
Otherwise,
students that
spoiler
just
ahead.
stalk. But in the Book of Boba Fett,
Boba's dead.
he does not die.
He might as well have.
Well, I should say at the end of Mando season 2, Grogu is handed to Luke, right? Which has been his quest for the entire second season.
2 seasons worth.
Was bringing Grogu to a Jedi.
Ogu.
It ends with Grogu getting to Luke, and then we start off season 3, and Grogu's already back. So if you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett, that
Do you think they're gonna? They've got to just do like a 2-minute recap.
Oh, I'm sure they'll start off the season. They usually do when you start off season. They it says previously season 2 of Mando. So
But imagine not watching Book of Boba Fett and
not having to have seen that your whole life.
What the heck?
Yeah, it would be weird.
Why?
So it's kind of a weird decision. Did you see what Jon Favreau said about that?
Yeah, just like
no.
Political statement.
It was
political
so
statement.
stupid, dude. He was like, "Did you see CJ? CJ?
Carl?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So Jon Favreau was asked pretty much
I did not see it.
that exact question.
Why did he go back so fast?
Why did Grogu go back so fast? And why did you decide to put that in the Book of Boba Fett? He's like, well, when you saw Book of Boba Fett, you saw that Grogu and Mando were separated, and neither of them were really doing too well on their own, so they needed each other. So we brought them back together.
It was like a week.
Yeah.
And it was like, we're like, that's fine. We would have liked to. I would have loved to seen 3 or 4 episodes of Mando really struggling, not having Grogu there, and it would
like a whole season.
Yeah, it would have made that.
The longer you make that, the sweeter the reunion becomes.
It's true, but you want to know what the truth of the matter is? They will
don't want that.
They will have more viewers with the little cute green guy there.
The little cretin.
Little cute green guy. I mean, I already saw. Did you guys see the clip that was released today? They released like a 20-second clip.
He was spinning around in a chair with
Mando talking to Grogu or Grief Karga, and no joke.
You didn't see it, David?
I didn't know.
Grogu's sitting there in his chair. It's like a swivel chair like this while Mando and he are talking. And he gets the Force and grabs on the desk and pulls himself like this. Just so he spins around.
Except a lot faster.
And then he gets here again and he goes, yeah, and spins himself again. And he's just using the Force. It was the cutest thing. I was like, oh, I have to watch this show now. So,
and then he grabs
like fruit.
The M&M.
So he's playing with the Force.
It's a red M&M.
Pretty regularly now. But that's why they did it. And why not just say that? Just say, look, we know that our fans want Grogu, so we got to bring him back. It's fine.
Merchandising.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Grogu sells merch.
Because
Mando does not.
It's the thing that frustrates us about Star Wars more than anything. Is they're just grabbing money instead of making a freaking good story.
It's like Batman Robin, the movie. It's great.
I never saw that one. That's one
Bad.
Batnips.
Oh, yes. And Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hey, I heard that George is coming back as Batman, too.
No, that was debunked.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, that was literally...
the rumor is that he's going to be in the end of it.
Yeah.
Wait,
I know that...
You said George Clooney, right?
Yeah.
No, it's Keaton.
Well,
no, but they're going to do another one. They're going to do another one.
Man. It's just going to be like Spider-Verse, where it's got all the Batmans.
We're getting all the bad ones. Just the bad ones.
I want to see Adam West. I want to see Michael Keaton.
Well,
Adam
you can't see Adam
bones.
West.
Yes, we can. He'll be fine.
Man.
That's why it's bad. We're digging him up.
They're like, Batman, we need you. He's like...
Bring the walker, Robin.
Quick, get the
shovel.
Did you see the one where it had like all the Adam West movie where it had all of the different villains? Yes.
Yes.
And
it's really bad.
They're on the helicopter coming out of the water, and this like rubber shark jumps and grabs onto their leg. He's like, Robin, on my utility belt. Get the shark repellent. And it's the spray. Hairspray bottle. He sprays the shark, and the shark goes, and let's go. I used to watch that movie all the time as a kid. We had it on VHS.
It's actually like watchable, but like still so bad.
And then he there's this scene where the Riddler like sets a bomb off somewhere, and Batman runs around with it, no joke, for like 5 minutes, and he keeps trying to throw the bomb, and every time he tries to throw it somewhere, there's like ducks in the water, or like he tries to throw it in this alley, and there's like these girls in an alley, and it's just so stupid, man. To imagine that's what Batman
thwarted my
used to be.
civilization.
Oh, that show was great.
The scene where he's dancing.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen that part.
Or then they're like rappelling up the Twin Towers. And like just literally walking like this, and you can tell it's a flat ground that they just turned off.
They've got little strings on their capes, holding their capes.
Oh, it was so
Great.
fun. I need to watch that again. If you have not seen Batman with Adam West, I highly.
Well, they even made the Lego set with it, like the $400 Lego set, $400 Batcave, and they made it from the TV show. And I was like, well, you probably would have sold more if you didn't make this version.
That is the Batman that you show your kids, John, when he's 8 years old. That one is
that's fair.
That one's family friendly. Yeah, man, I totally forgot about that movie. I'm so glad we brought that up. What were we talking about again?
Great Scott, Robin, get to the bat
Mando
phone.
season 3.
Oh yeah, Mando season 3. Okay, so we're set up. Grogu's reunited. He's got this cool new ship. I'm actually really excited to see that ship in action. It looks sick. I was
the N1
yeah,
or
the N1. Okay, so you see that scene where it keeps showing
With
the
the Razor crest?
Mandalorian starfighter?
yeah.
Everyone keeps saying that that's gonna be him in there, but I'm like, guys, he has his own ship. That's probably some Mandalorian in there. Like,
I mean,
I've seen so many
could've
theory
stole
videos
it.
that are like, why is the Mando in a Mandalorian starfighter? I was like,
Yeah,
it's
I never
probably
thought it.
not Mando. It's probably just a Mandalorian. I mean, we literally saw Bo-Katan flying that thing in season 2.
Yeah, we've literally shown like them talking. We've shown the armor.
Yeah, people are.
I mean, yeah, the armor talking.
So I'm excited. I think that there was one scene we saw that had like 22 Mandos in it alone. It looks like he's going to be leading some Mandalorians. I think it'd be really sick if he actually takes up the lead of Mandalore. We've seen Bo-Katan have it before. She didn't do well. I like her as a character, but I think it'd be sick to see Mandalorian. The show's called The Mandalorian. Let's let him kind of realize himself. And hasn't it? I'm gonna stop talking because I'm getting tired of hearing myself. I want to hear you guys.
No, keep going.
Hasn't this show always seemed like Mandalorian was like a Mando in training, kind of?
Are you talking about the people or the
No, the
guy?
Mandalorian himself, Din Djarin.
They're all Mandalorian.
I feel like he's not like top tier Mando yet. Like when
he is when he needs to be.
Yeah, it's really weird.
But when he doesn't need to be, he's not.
Yeah.
Which is about 50-50.
It's kind of like they write him as good as they want him to be, you know?
When he's fighting a crate dragon, he's indestructible.
Yeah.
True.
But when he's fighting other stormtroopers with other Mandalorians, he's
that's what I'm saying. So like whenever he fights someone else, he always seems to be like the least capable person in the group.
It just depends what they need. I mean, realistically, or he's just really nervous. He's just.
I guess I'm specifically thinking of. I just rewatched Mando season 2. I'm thinking of the episodes where him and the other Mandalorians went and took that ship that had like all the weapons on it and stuff in season 2 on that water planet. Mm-hmm. And he was he seemed to be, all those other Mandos were doing some crazy stuff. And you can see that they've worked as like a fighting force their whole life. And they just made him seem inferior, you know?
Yeah, I remember we talked about that.
Did we?
In specific. Oh, yeah.
Like the one thing he contributed was, I've got Beskar armor. I'm going to run down this hallway and get shot 600 times.
Yeah, we talked about him getting shot a lot.
Yes, we did. I specifically remember.
Good times, man.
So
some things never change.
I'm hoping that this season, as he trains with the Darksaber, that he will prove that he deserves to be the leader of Mandalore. That's kind of what I'm hoping to see out of this season.
I don't know.
Maybe Yoda steal the Darksaber and become baby Mando, leader of Mandalore? Jedi?
I'd rather have that.
I don't hate it.
Because Mando isn't a leader. He's
but
not a
sometimes the people that aren't leaders become the best ones. Like the people that want leadership, like Bo-Katan, usually are not good leaders. That's
like saying the students that are your worst, they can be your best.
No, it's different. Skill in an individual task is not necessarily what you want in leadership. So, for instance, I'll give you a little insight into the military. Okay, when we get into
your worst private can be your best general.
No, not saying you put the worst person there. The person who wants leadership is the last person you should put as a leader.
Sometimes.
Yeah, not always, but sometimes. So a lot of times, the person who you would think is not likely to be a leader because they're quiet and they keep to themselves.
To be honest, this is a movie trope, though. This is a TV show trope.
Yeah, but it's really pretty true. So like when we get into basic training, you're assigned a leader over your squad, over your platoon, and a lot of the drill sergeants will assign the tall, dark, handsome guy that looks like me, and puts him as the leader.
Are you guys lost in this example? I can't follow it anymore.
I was like, I immediately
out of it, pulled out.
My drill sergeant got this little guy who just like worked hard and kept to himself, and he kept everyone in line so well just because everyone knew he wasn't like riding his high horse, and he just wanted to do the right thing. And I feel like Mando kind of is a picture of that. He doesn't want the leadership, but if that's what's needed, he'll do it, and he'll do a good job.
See, I just don't think he has the capability to lead and organize and administrate and pull off all the blocking and tackling of being a leader.
ATST.
I feel like he could use people underneath him to delegate those kinds of tasks, though. I mean, Mandalorians are like, it's kind of like point and shoot. Like you guys say, you guys go there and go do your stuff. So,
see that plot armor? Go over there and defend that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that'd be cool to see. I understand that the idea of him being like this lone guy as well kind of is what the show has been, and it would be a very different turn for it to go that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll again ask a question and let you guys talk. I'll try to at least. What do you guys feel about the whole Mando cult thing? Like him going back to become a Mandalorian. He's been introduced to the idea now that not all Mandalorians feel that way. Yet it appears he's still going to stick to his old ways. So how do you guys feel about that? What do you see happening in the future?
It kind of feels like he's going back to a toxic ex that has gaslit him into thinking one way is the only way. And it's a little weird that he would be so desperate to be like, oh, you said I'm not a Mandalorian? Mm-hmm. You're right. I'm not a Mandalorian.
And especially, there are so few of them now. I don't know. To me, it just seems like, dude, you clearly don't want to live this way. And maybe he just feels guilty because he's been raised.
Definitely.
He's been raised that way.
It's his whole life.
But I really hope his eyes are open to like, you don't have to do this.
Breaking Amish.
he hasn't gone to Rumspringer yet.
What do you think, CJ?
TBD.
How do you feel about the whole going back to Mando to regain his Mandalorianism?
I think it's weird, especially because I don't feel like his version of Mandalorianism was ever associated with Mandalore, like the planet. They were kind of all over the place, but yeah, maybe this season will be him moving past that.
I hope so. That's what I'm hoping.
We'll see.
No,
it was kind of weird seeing him go back even in like the Book of Boba Fett, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No, that was lesson.
So here's what I don't understand. In season 2, when he talks to Bo-Katan, didn't Bo say that the children of the Watch, is that what they call themselves?
Yeah.
Didn't she say that they started when like the Empire took over?
Isn't it Death Watch?
I thought that she said that the children of the Watch started because they blamed Mandalorians for being not following the old ways as the reason that the Empire took over.
Well, they were probably remnants of Death Watch, and they're like, see, this is what happens when we don't follow Death Watch and the hardcore
militant
people. We get mulled over by the Empire, and if we would have been this way before, that wouldn't have happened. So we need to go back to the old way.
I'm gonna look it up now. Wait, let's see. Okay, because Children of Watch were cloistered in Concordia, they survived the Great Purge of Mandalore. So they were living on Concordia, which is their moon. Okay. Orthodox religion Mandalorians who followed the way of Mandalore according to Lady Bo-Katan Kryze. The Children of the Watch were religious zealots seeking to reestablish the way as the ancient faith had fallen out of favor with mainstream Mandalore. The tribe were members of the Children of the Watch, but at least one of them. Okay, it doesn't really say when it came into play.
Are you saying the Death Watch or Children?
No, the Children of the Watch. So I was hoping that we would see like a day of when they started, because I had thought that she said that they like officially started and cast themselves off from the rest of society when the Empire started to take over. I could be wrong. I have to go back and watch that episode again. But then Din says that he's been wearing his helmet since he was like 12 years old.
Yeah, since he joined.
Which was before that, because that was during the Clone Wars, because that happened when the
True.
Clones. So I feel like there's a little bit of controversy there. Maybe I just remember incorrectly, though. So.
Yeah. I mean, they're all remnants of Death Watch, which started.
I think Din Djarin, Pedro Pascal is too good of an actor to keep his under the helmet all the time. Like, I want to see the character as well.
Honestly, with how much he's been in lately, I don't want to see his face because it's just gonna take me out of it.
You're just like, I'm watching Last of Us again.
Or hey, it's Pedro Pascal, internet wonder boy.
Yeah, that makes sense, I suppose.
Season 1, yeah, definitely he's Mando, but
you guys excited for the season though? Overall, I think it's gonna be pretty solid.
I'm really excited.
I
feel like, or hopefully at least it kind of dovetails into Ahsoka a bit, because is that later this year or next year?
This year.
I think it's this year.
Yeah, this fall. Or this
fall?
winter. This winter.
Yeah. I think that's going to be a really good.
I'm hoping internet rumors are wrong.
About Ahsoka?
About this show.
I haven't seen any like bad rumors about this show.
Yeah,
I don't know if I want to.
I want to.
Is it pretty major?
So, it's not like heavily.
You're talking about Ahsoka or Mando?
About Mando.
Oh, tell me.
I mean, the main thing, I watched a YouTube video that was more or less the lines that, like, the reason why. Yeah, sorry, Jake.
You could have just taken your headphones out.
Yeah, that's fair. The reason why Grogu came back was because everybody higher up at Disney decided to meddle and bring him back because he sold merchandise and made money and yada yada yada, and that carried on into Mando season 3 to where, like, it sounded like Favreau was threatening to leave.
I don't know if I believe those rumors.
Okay, that's not like, I thought you were talking about spoilers for the story.
Well, okay, I'm not gonna.
No, go ahead, dive into it. What do you got?
No, I already said it,
so
I'm not gonna repeat the.
Oh no, I heard all that. I just turned off my camera because something was going on over here. So.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so, the rumor basically was that Kathleen Kennedy was meddling in the story, and Jon Favreau said, "If you keep doing this, I'm going to leave." And I don't know if I could believe that. That seems a little far fetched.
I believe that situation happened. I mean, imagine you're a writer who's running this show that's a sensational show that's going worldwide phenomenon, and then this lady comes in and says, "No, actually, Grogu's a girl," right? So I think that I would understand if he pushes back and says, "Let me run my show." I think that someone might have blown out of proportion. Maybe he didn't threaten to leave, but he pretty much says, "Look, I run this show, and if I'm going to run it, I'm going to run it."
Well, and that could have also been 2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
is the other thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So
it's just like it kind of worries me because they were almost like quoting a conversation, and it was like, Favreau's like shouting profanities like, "I'm gonna effing like leave."
Watch your profanity.
See, I always doubt the veracity of those kinds of things, because it's like, how do you know all these specifics?
If it was from WeGotThisCovered.com, you can. There's the door. I hate that website.
YouTube.
What was I gonna say? I totally forgot.
Did you guys watch the Sin Dreilig, Nick Gillard interview with Theory?
Mm-mm.
That's pretty darn
saw
good.
he had one.
It was really cool.
Was Theory trying to say, hey, you know anything about
pass me those tapes? That's what he was
saying. I mean, he asked him about George's input and like what was like working with George. How does some of the process with, you know, when you get the choreography versus who decides what.
The high ground.
Yeah, they talk about the high ground and how it originally wasn't supposed to be in it.
Yeah.
But the one thing that kind of fits into this conversation of behind doors scenes, behind doors things that happen that aren't necessarily true, where some of the artwork or the concept art that we get to see now, and it's like, oh, this could have happened. This was almost about to happen. When in reality, it was never on the table. It was just George Lucas paid 10 concept artists, make some concept art, and we'll look at it. And
oh yeah, they were
a
just
week
like
later,
shooting in the dark. They were just like mass.
Yeah, they were mass creating these stuff, and like for instance, the one thing where Theory a while ago said, because according to this book that was officially released by Lucasfilm or Disney, there was a concept art of Obi and Anakin fighting this dragon creature on Mustafar as their like one final working together.
I've actually seen that. Yeah.
But that was just some dude made concept art for George.
He probably
Lucas
didn't even know the story of what was going on.
And he flipped through.
He's like, I need some concept art of Obi-Wan and Anakin fighting on Mustafar. He's like, oh, you meant fighting each other. Oh.
There's a dragon.
My bad.
He's guarding treasure on Mustafar.
And then so George sees it. George sees it and then just throws it after seeing it for 0.1 second, and then, like
they're like,
and then someone
this
gets
almost
their hand
happened.
On it. Yeah, so it's stuff like that we take it and say, oh, this almost happened, but in reality, no. Nick Gillard was like, no, not at all.
Interesting.
So stuff like that is kind of interesting.
Dude, the high ground was cool though. The high ground part, he said, more or less, like it was him and Obi-Wan, I think, Ewan, talking about it, and like he was saying, rather than the high ground being a thing, Anakin was supposed to just try to like jump over him, like stand still, jump over him, and end up behind him. And at that moment, Obi-Wan was supposed to just diagonal slice him, and
instead of chopping off his limbs and stuff.
Well, it would be the same.
It's a little more nuanced than that. So they were supposed to. Yeah. So they were supposed to swing from the big pole, the big strut, directly onto the lava ground, instead of on the robots fighting in the river.
I see.
So they're on the ground fighting some more. Anakin goes, I'm gonna like do a little flare, jump over him, and attack him at the same time.
They weren't on the high. He wasn't on a hill or anything like that.
That wasn't a thing. So then Obi-Wan goes to defend his attack, and like David said, he accidentally slices his legs and arm off in like a defensive, not even a parry, kind of a parry, but not intending to parry. So he accidentally dismembers
Can you imagine
Anakin.
The weight of that if that's what happened? Because like if Kenobi wasn't even intentionally trying to kill him and he accidentally kills him or chops him up, like just my brother, I can't believe I actually did
this. It would have changed the scene.
Yeah, it would have been different. I mean, it was still extremely emotional, of course, but that would have been a different kind of emotion if it was an accident. Interesting.
Yeah.
But then they got the high ground from apparently there was this hill near where they were shooting, where Nick and Hayden would walk to get coffee or something, and every time, or they went twice, and both times Hayden would try to take the hill as a shortcut, and he would fall. He fell down the hill. So it was a joke like, "Oh, you can't handle the high ground" or something like that. And they put it, and then they put it into the. He put it into the scene. He integrated it.
That's awesome. Just like another slap to the face. You can't fight in the high ground. Do you think we'll see Hayden in Mando?
Not in Mando.
So you don't think that's him coming through the door?
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that scene. So maybe.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I mean, we know he's in the building. So
wait, what?
When Grogu,
that's right.
when Grogu,
Master Skywalker is in the building.
Yeah.
I repeat.
So we see it in the trailer that Grogu's there and he's being defended by those 3 Jedi, and that someone's coming through the door.
Is it the same Jedi? Do you think we're gonna get more of that scene? Because one of them still looks like Sindralig.
Yeah, I think it's the same ones.
Because I thought it was only 2. Or no, 3.
I mean, maybe only 2 were shown, or 3 were shown. That doesn't mean there wasn't a 4th one behind him or something.
Yeah, they all die right away anyways.
Yeah, they're lame. They can't.
So I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool to see Hayden. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I think it'd be pretty awesome if they did.
Hopefully he has an actual scar.
I do think we'll see him in Ahsoka.
Yes.
If the
well, they already
true.
I already saw some report that his scenes were done.
Yeah.
In Ahsoka.
So that'll be interesting. I think
Clone Wars armor.
Whether it's flashbacks or World Between Worlds stuff, I think it'll be cool to see them. So let's dive into Ahsoka. We haven't talked about this at all. I think Mando, there's not much we can really talk about besides theorizing, you know?
Yeah, he's going back to Mandalore.
Yeah, I think it should be really cool.
There's a battle.
And anyone that's going to watch this, hopefully, or probably has already watched a bunch of recaps on that and stuff, on the trailers and whatnot. But Ahsoka, I want to know your opinions on this World Between Worlds stuff. So if you aren't aware, a lot of leaks have come out. Whether they're true or not, we don't know, of course. But the idea is that Ahsoka is going to look for Ezra and Thrawn in a place called the New Beyond, right?
Yeah.
I believe that's what it's called. And
More
it's supposed to be like an unexplored part of the galaxy. Okay? What Thrawn is doing there is highly theorized. Is he working on creating a new army, restarting the Empire? Is he simply trying to go back and fight against the Grisk that are taking over the Chiss ascendancy? I don't know. I think that would be really cool. I think it'd be awesome to see some Chiss stuff.
Yeah, that'd be really cool because they haven't really those books are canon.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing.
Well, and Disney's been publishing them.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be really cool to see. That's the way I'd prefer it to go. I know that in the old books, Thrawn helped restart the Empire, so it probably is going to go that direction, is my guess.
But it's it's still the same thing.
The whole reason he does anything is try to get back to protecting the Chiss.
Yeah, it's the same thing in the old books. It's just he does cooler stuff in the old books.
Yeah. So we'll see where that goes. But essentially what happens is while they're out there, there's a lot of things that we're seeing is potentially like a magic infused stormtrooper army, kind of, where they've got this gold lining on their armor from force magic, and that in this area of the galaxy people use the force rather than using it like Jedi do. They use it more like Night Sisters do. So it'd be interesting to see how that comes into play. But what I'm really interested in and want your guys' opinion on is the World Between Worlds, or whatever it is with Ahsoka, where she's going and seeing all of these alternate possibilities. Like, what if she were the one fighting Anakin on Mustafar? And how all these things are paths that could have happened and that she could jump in and intervene, like Ezra did with her. But she comes to the conclusion that either way, Anakin was the chosen one, and the Force's path that they wanted for Anakin, or that the Force wanted for Anakin, was for him to turn to the dark side and eventually kill Palpatine. And that no matter what path was chosen, it would have eventually led to that final end. So how do you guys feel about that? And seeing all these alternate scenes, kind of do you think it's just for fun? And what's your overall opinion on that? CJ, how do you feel about that? Have you seen those reports?
I have not.
Oh, so just knee-jerk reaction then for you.
I think it would be interesting, but that also seems like it would take away from the show. These are normally 8 to 10 episodes. So how much actual time are you going to take away from her searching for Ezra and Thrawn to show things that didn't even happen or that could have happened?
Yeah.
I guess playing the character development side of it maybe as part of her accepting it, but I don't know. I feel like that could be the back the tank scenes in the Book of Boba, where it detracts from
the overall story,
what's happening in the present.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, because they're definitely going to have a current day story and plot where she has a goal, I doubt that that's going to be the primary focus of the story. However, Dave Filoni is running this show. I don't even know if Jon Favreau is taking part in it at all, and you know how much he loves Ahsoka, so I think character development of Ahsoka and diving into her character and her emotions is probably going to be really huge, especially because the reports of him going back and watching all of these episodes after they finished the show. He says it was an absolutely emotional experience and a spiritual experience for him, where like he was just left in like emotional tears just after watching all of this. So my guess is it really is going to dive into that Ahsoka stuff where she's going to see some things and really question like her personality and her being, you know what I mean? So I would not be surprised if they do a lot of that stuff. We'll see how it plays out, but what are you guys, John, David?
I have more faith in I was gonna say I have more faith in him doing it than Filoni or than Favreau.
Yeah, he definitely has a better understanding of the story for sure and of that character. John and David, how do you feel about that idea?
I just hope they don't. I don't want it to be. I don't want to be Ant-Man in the multiverse or Doctor Strange in the multiverse of madness /
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, into the Spider-Verse. It
just
takes me. It takes
just
me
makes
out
it feel
of it.
cheaper.
Yeah, it takes me out of it.
Stuff has less weight when you. Which, if it's just a window into time, I guess it's fine. Kind of like how it was in the show in Rebels, where you could hear the voices and you could see certain windows, but it wasn't like they explored any of them.
Like I'm thinking,
and it didn't help the plot. Besides Ezra and Ahsoka,
I'm thinking that we're gonna see, like, it's not gonna be her so much looking into those windows. I think she'll look into them, and then we as fans are gonna experience it as if it's happening. You know what I mean?
Like maybe she'll look, and the camera will pan over her shoulder and
go into that room.
Dive into the window.
That's what I'm expecting to happen. And then we're gonna see Ahsoka and Anakin fighting on Mustafar, which it sounds so cool to watch, you know.
But we'll see if it is.
But like at the same time, it sounds so wrong. You know what I mean? Like no, he fought Obi-Wan. It's just it's such an interesting concept because before a few years, time travel or alternate timelines / dimensions was never a thing with Star Wars. It's always been a thing with Marvel and DC. All these superheroes have always had ability to shift time and stuff. So like, as fans of those universes, you're more understanding when the Avengers decide the only way they can stop Thanos is to go back in time and stop him, right? But with Star Wars, it just seems like with fate and destiny playing such a strong part in the galaxy that having alternate timelines don't really make sense. You know what I mean?
No.
Which I think that what we talked about earlier, it might say that the Force's fate and destiny that it has for people happens no matter what path you take, that eventually gets to that overall destiny. So, I don't know.
Which I don't think in the world between worlds, it was ever an alternate reality. It was just, my understanding was it was just different points in time.
Right, but I guess the question is,
could you create alternate realities?
When Ezra jumps in and takes Ahsoka, was there ever a reality where Vader killed Ahsoka there? You know what I mean?
It could, yeah. It could be like a...
Because we never saw him actually kill her.
Time loop, yeah.
Right? So it could have meant that Ezra always saved her, and she never died, right?
Yeah.
In that scene.
Like, have you guys seen Tenet?
Yes.
All of you?
Yes.
It could be a situation like that where...
Right.
Mind bending, but don't think about it too hard because it's not
actually possible.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I don't know. It's very interesting. I'll be very interested to see how that actually pans out. I'm really excited about that show. I don't know if I'm more excited for that or for season 3 of Mando. So,
but like I discussed with the concept art for Revenge of the Sith, this could just be a concept art or a concept story that got thrown out there and got hacked the next day.
With how heavily it's been reported and from the multiple sources that it has been, I feel like
it's a different time than it was back then.
It's going to have some truth to it, just what level and what got cut on the drawing floor. Like, there very well could have been a scene where Anakin and Ahsoka fought, but they take it out, you know? So,
or like the scene with Kit Fisto, Plo Koon, and Ki-Adi Mundi when they are like leading a Jedi rampage on Geonosis and like fighting for like 5 straight minutes.
There's a scene
just
of that?
them. Yeah.
Have
In
you seen
Revenge or in Attack
No,
of the
Attack of the
Clones?
Clones.
Attack of the Clones, and it's partially animated. So like I've seen it, and I'm like, man, this would have been cool, but like,
Oh, okay.
weird.
It was prevised, or was there any live action shots?
Well,
there was
all
no
3
live
of those
actions.
characters
Okay.
are not live action.
Yeah. So
Who?
they're literally
Keanu
like
Mooney was
going
live
to a-
action.
Well, yeah, but he's got CGI prosthetic in Attack of the Clones.
No, that's a real head, dude.
He's got a costume on.
Yeah.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure all of them had. Maybe who's the guy with the long head?
Kiadi.
No. The long
Fisto?
neck, skinny
Oh,
toothpick.
well, he definitely was
Oh,
not
Yariel
prosthetic. Yeah,
Yeah, poof.
Yario went poof after
Yario.
episode 1.
No, if he was in episode 1, then he was definitely real.
I said
Someone
after
just held his head up.
What do you mean?
headed up really high.
Yariel
They used
poof.
green screen for everything in that movie. They
Well,
probably
yeah,
held their head
backgrounds.
up and they CGI'd in the neck.
Google Yariel poof.
I know who he is.
No,
Does
to
he
see
have the
actual
same-
pictures.
Does he get the Jar Jar treatment?
That's what I'm saying. He probably had the Jar Jar treatment where he had
I
that.
don't want the
Jar Jar was
treatment.
a very expensive character to animate. I doubt they wasted their time on Poofy.
Well, I mean,
But
the
he's
dude
only
didn't say anything. He
he's
just
only
moves.
in it for like
This
one
is literally
scene.
Yariel Poof.
Someone moves the broccoli forward an inch.
That's all he did that
Broccoli
whole
head.
movie.
But no,
Dude
like
couldn't-
the Shock
could
T
not sit
was
still.
Shock T was real.
Yeah.
It was all prosthetics. Barris Alfie. Can you believe Barris Alfie was
She's just like a
was
normal
on
person.
Geonosis? I know.
Yeah, which is weird. Like the timeline for her character never makes
Makes
sense
no
because
sense.
she's like 14, like 20, 25, 14 again. And you're like, oh, cool. Someone else uses this portal.
Yes, she was the first World Between the World person.
This is why she turned evil.
Maybe you just discovered something. John,
Yo,
are you
I saw-
frozen or are you just like holding your arms up for a long time?
Oh, he's frozen for sure.
He's like, whoa.
It's like 3 pixels right now.
All right. So, Jedi Survivor coming out next month. About a little less than a month from today, right? March 16th?
It comes out in April. Oh, it comes out in March?
March 1st?
No, Jedi Survivor. Isn't it March 16th?
Oh.
Welcome
I
back,
don't
John.
know, dude. Thank you.
I thought
Thank
it
you.
got pushed like a month.
It
Or
got
was it
pushed
something
6
else?
weeks.
I thought it got pushed back
You're right.
to, like,
It got pushed 6 weeks to
April.
April 24th or something like that.
Ugh.
Jedi Survivor. Did you guys watch the gameplay videos?
I
No.
watched some of them.
Some of
but I
it,
didn't watch
yeah.
all of them.
April 28th. Oh man, I'm so excited for that
I
game.
probably watched like 5 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah,
Or 10.
it looks pretty good.
It should.
The thing I'm most excited for is it looks like you're not going to be doing any like relearning powers or anything.
Is it still sandbox?
No.
Where
It
you?
looks a little less, but I hope it's.
What do you mean by that?
So remember how it was open world,
Right.
but you
On
can
rails.
only go in one direction through the
Mhm.
whole map, and you have to go the same direction out. That's basically sandbox.
So how do you want? You can. There's multiple avenues of approach and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to go all the way down to the end of Dathomir
And then
To get
run
the
all
final
way back.
Dude, that was
to get the
worst.
final
with no
chest.
fast travel, dude. I remember my first time on Zepho. I was like, "How do I get back to my ship?"
Yeah, like
It's impossible. And then you have to go through the map and you're like, all right, I'm here. So I need to go around this one.
And then
go
you're
up
like,
this
"Wait,
cave,
I don't have the force
go
power
up
to get
this
through here."
elevator.
I'm like,
All
great,
right.
this is
Wait, no,
3D
not
map.
that elevator. The other elevator. Okay, go back.
I mean,
No.
I honestly didn't hate that. I thought that
I
that
hated
just
it.
I
hated it.
liked that it required.
Did you
me to-
100% the game,
I did.
Jacob? Okay.
Gross.
Yeah.
I did as well, and I hated it at
It
the
was
end.
I don't,
Yeah.
so I would much rather beat the
Mhm.
game on like hard than 100% the game. Like
I
I'd
did
rather
both.
at least
I played
like
that game 100% on normal, and then I went and played it again on Jedi.
The hardest, so like super.
Grandmaster.
Yeah,
It was
couldn't be
hard.
me. I would have just gotten too frustrated.
Yeah.
If
I
there's
should've done
no gamer score to do it, then I won't do it.
See, I don't play on Xbox, so gamer score doesn't matter to me.
But it could. They have achievements for PC, don't they?
If you play
On
through
Steam,
Xbox
yeah.
Game Pass.
Yeah.
Oh, and Steam. Yeah, there's Steam stuff too. Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah,
usually
okay.
buy
EA
them
has
for
them
stuff.
too.
I buy them on EA, so maybe
So,
I think
I'll,
EA has it too, but
Yeah.
maybe I just have all my notifications
No, I can't-
turned off.
can't.
I probably won't. Now that I got a kid, I don't have time for that kind of stuff, sadly. Like, I've been trying to finish Red Dead for like 3 months now.
Oh yeah, I gave up on that.
I was playing it a little bit.
So
today.
good.
It's good. It's
so
fun.
good.
It's just slow, man.
What? It is
Bro,
not.
like just getting out of the tutorial, like prologue, is like
4
at least-
hours.
It's not
It's
as slow
4
as
hours?
playing through the
That's
opening
long.
planet of freaking Knights of the Old Republic. Ugh. Pain.
I mean,
But it's
yeah,
good
but
the
there's
whole
a story
time.
going on.
Yeah, there's a story going on
Until
with
you
Red
get
Dead
lost
the
and
whole
you can't
time.
find the right door.
I'm literally sitting on a horse, walking at like 2 miles an hour.
Well, that's your fault.
I don't
'cause
even
you can
get to talk
run.
to anyone. I just,
Run.
You can run on the horse. You can
No,
gallop.
He's like,
I'm
"Wait,
walking 5 miles
what?
an hour on the horse.
Why are you
Cool.
walking?
I'm going twice as fast. Well,
No,
I'm
you're
just
literally
saying,
going
like, the world
about
is
30
so
miles
big.
an hour.
The world is so big that progressing in the beginning of the game takes forever.
Why don't you
and I hate
unlock
it.
the fast travel points?
I don't know. Probably didn't play that long.
Also, if you have 4K 120 hertz, it's beautiful, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Which,
is.
never mind. 120 hertz doesn't matter because they didn't
Yeah, frame
update
rate doesn't really matter.
the FPS boost on. Yes, it does. For me, it does.
Yeah,
at
I mean,
least.
it does, but in a single player game, it's not huge. You shouldn't have a lot of screen tearing.
No, but I mean for Xbox limits it
Oh,
to 60.
sure,
So it doesn't look as smooth as
Yeah.
Makes a big difference.
whatever
dude.
other game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jedi Survivor, some interesting stuff. Some turns that I didn't expect this game really to take. This character that we're seeing, it looks like he was once a Jedi.
Yep.
Oh, did they
Jedi.
release more on him?
No, but that's just opinion, kind of.
Oh.
But like, when?
They showed like robes too.
Yeah.
Like he was wearing robes.
And he talks about they betrayed me and stuff. And
He had a yellow saber.
maybe?
He had a yellow saber, I think.
did he have a lightsaber?
I think he had a yellow one.
So he's a temple guard.
Yeah, it's just.
Maybe he's in Mando.
I don't think so.
Oops.
He's in a flashback.
But do you think this guy was like an ancient Jedi or during the time of the Clone Wars?
Clone Wars.
You think so?
What does
I mean,
your heart tell
It
you?
seems like
I feel like
the Grand Inquisitor is going to be a big thing in the game, so I think like somehow related to him maybe.
Man, what happens to the Grand Inquisitor? Woo, I can't wait to find out.
Wait, how do you know the Grand Inquisitor's in the game?
They show him.
That was not him.
That wasn't him.
No, some other guy. In that first trailer that we saw a long time ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the Grand Inquisitor.
I thought that was just like a better looking version, because like they made the trailer before they released the
Let's see
Obi-Wan
here.
show,
Yep, let me,
and I'm like surely they just like know what they're doing a little better than
first
everyone doing the Obi-Wan show.
Jedi Survivor.
Oh yeah, no, he was Utapawan, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
First trailer. Let's see here. All right,
Is
here we
it? Is it?
I mean, he
Darth
does
Plagueis?
look like the Grand
Wise?
Inquisitor. No, it's not
Plagueis
Darth.
the Wise?
It's not Plagios.
I'm kind of skipping ahead right now. Our fans get
It's not Darth Plagiarism.
Anyways, this is a game that I've been really excited about.
What kind of device is that? That's interesting. Is it a Galaxy tablet?
Yeah. No, it's the
Oh, you have the
4.
G Fold.
Yeah, the Fold 4. So
There,
this
this
is
guy-
a
okay, this guy,
two-player
yeah.
like skirmish game.
All right, here we
and
go.
You put it together.
Yeah, this guy. Nah, that's not Grand Inquisitor. You guys look at our stream right now?
Maybe it's pre-Inquisitory Grand Inquisitor because he doesn't have the crazy eyes.
No, this is like at least 15 years after Revenge.
And
This
that's
is 10 years after.
This is
I think
taking
this is 10
place
years.
during. This is taking place during
Rebels.
the Kenobi show.
Really?
Like,
Yep, same exact timeline, same year.
I thought it fast forwarded like 10 years.
well, the Kenobi show happens over a
Oh.
week.
The Kenobi show happens 10 years
Yes.
after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
And
but
happens
I thought
for a week.
Jedi Survivor is Jedi Fallen Order is 5 years after Revenge of the Sith,
Okay.
and Jedi Survivor is 10 years after. So this is 5 years later.
Oh, it's just 10 years after. I thought it was 10 years after the
No.
previous.
14 BBY.
So the guy.
Oh
that-
yeah.
The dude that he's fighting has only one hand. So in the trailer, he's fighting a guy with a red lightsaber. He's got one hand, and that guy that he takes out of the vat also only had one hand. It's a red lightsaber, not yellow.
Not if you're colorblind.
There's a couple different trailers too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that guy.
But from my perspective,
The Jedi are evil.
Are you guys looking at our stream right now, by chance?
I am not.
Okay. Well,
I can.
I'm like,
Yes,
I don't know how to do
you're
this.
shing it.
Okay.
We
That
just
guy
got
is
copyright struck.
definitely not the Grand Inquisitor.
Next move.
It's just an Utapau. So. Man, this game looks so stinking good. I can't.
Yeah, they
Well,
made
that's not an in-game engine
I know,
cutscene.
but still, it just.
Not to
Still a
burst
great
your
video.
bubble.
I don't care. It still looks awesome.
Bubble burst.
Take a
I know
look,
it's
Jake.
like when you watch the in-game cinematic or the cinematic for the Assassin's Creed games. You're like, oh my gosh! And
No,
you
more
play
like
it.
the KOTOR. The KOTOR
Yes.
cinematics.
Oh, not
I thought the
KOTOR,
video
the
game-
Old Republic.
Yeah, I thought the video games were like that, and then I saw what they actually were, and I was like,
You're like, wait,
Yeah.
I can't even see my guy. This map
Oh.
is zoomed out so far.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
oh, okay, cool.
And your guy like has two animations.
It's either walking left or walking right.
Yep. It alternates. It's fun.
Yeah, that game is such
Jake,
good.
take a look. So this is the game.
Oh, that I know, David. You showed me this like 9 times.
But not on stream.
I would love to play it. I would. It's just we live
But-
2,000 miles apart from each other.
They have PC versions of the Marvel game that's free. You just have to have Tabletop Simulator.
I've got Tabletop Simulator because we used to play that game with those Australian dudes.
Yeah. So we could play.
I would do that.
You'll enjoy it, I think.
Do you think that we have Cal Kestis dying in this game?
Dude, I actually do.
Yeah, unless they plan to make a third game, it would be
Yeah,
interesting to have a game called Jedi Survivor in which the Jedi dies.
That would be ironic.
So I
Maybe
don't know.
a different. Maybe he's survived by a different Jedi.
Hey, that'd be interesting.
Obi-Wan.
Gunji.
Is that the
Gunji.
Wookiee kid?
Yes.
But I'm excited for that game.
Yeah.
So
No, not Gunji. The
Genji.
little guy who's like,
But I believe that we can find our way out here if we trusted each other.
Is that on the Ilum episode?
Yeah.
I don't remember it well enough.
I don't
it's the
remember
kid with the green kid with the little hair
Oh
tentacles.
yeah. He
And
was
he
like
always-
Kit Fisto's
He always
race.
talks like this. He's
Yeah.
always got a
He
cold.
had a cold because it was on Ilum. He was cold. He caught a little sickness. All I remember really about that episode is David Tennant was playing the droid.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, and I only remember that is because I was huge into Doctor Who back then. So
Oh, is that the like the modern Doctor Who?
yeah.
Yeah,
And then Matt Smith was supposed to be in the new Star Wars movies, but that never happened. So
dude, that's
they brought Palpatine
Dude.
back instead.
Dude,
that is a
Matt-
very rabbit hole that we could go down.
Dude, Matt Smith is really good.
He's a great actor. Have you
He's
seen?
really
Did
good.
you watch House of the Dragon?
Of course.
Oh, he's great in that show.
Yeah. Now I would just
Brother.
enjoy this guy.
I love how he is such a scumbag character, and then like
Until he's not.
all of a sudden you're like, he's the best. I love this man. Yeah,
He's OP.
I will protect
He's
you,
a-
brother.
He's Darth Vader.
dude, that way that show ends with that kid dying.
Whoa, spoilers.
You didn't finish the show?
Yes, I'm saying for,
What for our
The-
2 listeners?
and one of them's me, so now it's just one. No,
Aw,
it's just me.
You don't have to
We
leave.
hope you've seen it.
Oh,
But anyways, yeah, he's great. Well, so Dave and I were talking. See if you guys how you feel about it. But
Yeah.
when I play Jedi Survivor,
yeah.
I'm gonna stream.
Let's do it.
So I think that whoever's on, you can all have. We'll take control of the channel, stream the game, and then if we're ever all on, we can just converse while we're playing it. Because I imagine that when that game comes out, we're all gonna hit it pretty hard. So. I think
When does it
that's
come out again?
April 28th. So your tax season should be
Time.
finishing up pretty.
You know, it should be, but it's probably not going to
People
be.
file late.
No, it's not. It's audits, and
Oh, sure.
the client takes forever, and we have to make stuff work, and it
Yeah,
doesn't
but
always
John,
work.
you gotta
so.
set priorities. I mean, you'll always make money. You can only play so many video games. This is how it works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
I mean, I'll be in the middle of baseball season, so I probably will.
Plus, for the single player games, I like to wait till they go on sale.
You can't do that for a Star Wars game, man.
I did it for Jedi Fallen Order. Got it for
Why?
$25.
John. We'll consider it an investment for the show.
Well, I have to. What about my YouTube channel?
You can stream it on both.
That's blowing up.
Well,
Not really.
Fine. You can
stream
do it
on both.
You can do it on yours. That's fine. But
Thank you.
when
Appreciate it.
we'll
Yeah, I mean,
just
I can still talk.
We'll do
I
co-op
can still
streams.
voice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can do co-op streams. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 10-year anniversary.
are you really
On my
getting up
YouTube
to
channel.
10 years? Oh.
It's
I
kind of
haven't-
depressing.
I haven't seen you kids like 10 years, 102 subscribers. Let's go.
One a year.
That'd be 10 a year. But...
Maths.
what are you up
By
to
nine.
nowadays?
On the stream?
Yeah.
I usually just do a weekly Forza stream if I have the time.
No, I meant how many subscribers do you have?
Oh, 385.
That's not bad.
I did a Minecraft stream a while ago and got like 10 to 15
Yeah.
subs.
Minecraft's growing back again, like the plague. I had some students.
Saw like
say,
a
"I'm going home
3D
and playing
version of.
Minecraft today."
Did
I
you
was
see
like,
the new Minecraft they have coming out?
No.
It's like 3D, like more 3D somehow. I don't know.
How's
Is it a
more
mod
3D?
and a
Oh,
shader?
no,
is it
no,
a
no.
is it a shader mod?
They have
3D,
a
more 3D.
They have like a tower defense Minecraft game coming out. So like a 5v5
What are you
versus
doing? Get out! I'm
66,
playing Minecraft.
Or like however many team versus however many team, like assaulting a tower, like Lord of the Rings style. Helm's
Interesting.
Deep.
I
Build
have
build a
literally
fortress.
zero interest in that.
Oh yeah,
I've-
me too.
I've never been a Minecraft person.
Remember how much
Why are we
interest I had
talking
in
about it?
Fortnite? Zero.
Minecraft's fun. I enjoy it.
I used to play with my little brothers, but that's all.
It's just relaxing.
It is chill.
It's simple.
I like to compete when I game.
I'd rather just not
I like
be
to
playing
chill.
game versus playing Minecraft.
I've always said I'd like to chill,
Jeez, guys, just fine.
and then I found
Okay.
myself getting bored. So, like people that like will play games where they're just grinding stuff for hours, like fighting AI. And I'm just like, ugh.
That's not Minecraft. Don't
No, but
compare
I-
that to Minecraft.
But I'm saying like a game where you're like, oh yeah, I had to play this for 18 hours so I could unlock
Like
this
Destiny.
sword.
That's what Destiny was.
I mean,
Yeah,
Destiny's
really.
semi-competitive though. Like you have to like it's
you have to
fast.
Competitive.
grind to get the weapons.
Yeah,
to-
but it's like fast-paced though. Like some of
Oh,
these
it's first
games-
person shooter, but
Yeah.
it's grind.
Yes, it's a first-person grinder, I guess.
It's like it's a lot better than the Division. So it's like a playable version of the Division.
I like the Division actually. So
I tried and I couldn't do it.
It's
I couldn't
it's
either.
challenging. Me and CJ are playing through it right now actually.
The
Right
Division 2?
Yeah, Division 2.
Isn't that like 2018 or older?
I believe it came out in 2019.
We tried to play it when it was
I
like
can't believe there was a 2 even, honestly.
Really?
One was
Yeah.
so
Division-
bad.
What do you mean? It was like widely accepted. It was.
I mean, it's widely
people-
played
Yeah.
for some reason. So was Destiny.
Probably because of the numerous times it was free.
But they're still updating it and still putting out works. They're still working on Division 2, so
So that would be why
it's a live game.
Oh, that's what
the
I've
Star
heard,
Wars game gets delayed because of you two guys playing the Division 2.
I've heard that's what the Ubisoft game. Like, there's a little bit of rumors that. the
Yeah, it's kind of
Ubisoft
going to be a
game's gonna be like that.
semi-similar. It's the same team that made the Division is making.
I just hope.
Oh no, no!
know.
I want the Assassin's Creed team on it.
That
Yep.
would be sick.
That's what I want to.
Yeah, an Assassin's
Like
Creed.
we can
Star
have
Wars.
like we can have the multiplayer, like just the aspect of owning multiplayer, and then everything else goes to the Assassin's Creed team.
I can't wait for that game, man. The Ubisoft open world Star Wars game. I don't care if I'm a smuggler or a Jedi or what, bounty hunter.
I want to be a smuggling Jedi.
I just want to play a good open world. Like the way they're discussing this
I want to
game
be a Jawa.
is being able to kind of No Man's Sky into
Houdini!
planets.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't like that aspect because that's when you get like, okay, you can go to millions of planets. What are you gonna do on? You ever gonna visit all million of those?
well, I didn't
No.
say there's gonna be millions of planets. Just the idea of being able to be flying around and then just fly down to your planet instead of having like a cutscene.
Okay, well that's. I wouldn't compare that to No Man's Sky. I know,
No,
I know
I'm
the
just
people
saying,
did.
I'm just saying that function
people
of being able to literally fly down to the planet. That's just something that they're putting into the game.
Yeah, that's a pretty hard thing to do. You'd be surprised, John. how few games actually do it.
with the high-powered machines we all have now, it's loading as you go in. It just looks
it's
seamless.
the same thing that they had in Jedi Fallen Order, where you start inching between cracks in the wall. All that is just a loading screen for it to prepare the next side of that wall. That's all. That side is not generated until you get through. So it keeps you from having this huge world having to load that the engine can't handle. But they got rid of that for Jedi Fallen Order 2.
Or like a Harry Potter when you go out a door
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
and it freezes, and then it loads, and then it lets you out the door.
I've heard there's been some problems with that.
It really isn't that bad. Like,
it's
like half a second.
As like,
Not a
yeah,
big deal.
it's like, who cares, honestly? But it's just a meme at this point.
Any other topics you guys want to discuss before we hop off here?
Star Wars. Jabba's sail barge UCS set supposedly coming.
Oh, see, I actually bought this UCS set the other day.
If it's a land speeder, I'm gonna throw you out the window. Well, there you go. There's the window.
I really liked the design of it, but the guy that sent it to me didn't put one of the bags in it. I'm missing bag 9.
And he's gonna send it to you?
I don't know. He says he was, but I haven't gotten it yet.
Was that the bag with all the minifigs?
No, the minifigs are all there. So, yeah,
that's the weird part.
I mean, you can try and get it from Lego. Just tell Lego you didn't get it.
He said he was gonna try. I don't know if he's gonna do it or not.
That's kind of important. Did you request a refund?
I did not. Yeah, I kind of know the guy a little bit, so I'm giving him some leeway.
Mistake-o numero uno.
I bet you can guess who the guy is.
David Hilarious?
Yes, it's David.
Definitely request that refund.
He didn't actually pay.
I have not paid yet. I said.
All right, David.
So
smart, holding
and he
it
got
as
it
collateral.
for $90 off.
I did
Hold
get
that
it.
as collateral.
But it doesn't do me much good on missing
No, it
a whole
doesn't.
bag.
Yeah. What's so stupid?
Did Lego
That
get
guy-
back to you?
Lego,
Oh, you're
I
missing
need
a bag too?
Yeah, he can't find
I
it.
need to call Lego because
Oh,
no,
shoot.
I sent it to him. So I need to call Lego because they said like, oh, we can't send it to you because that's too many pieces, more or less. You need to call.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, that's fair.
Why does
but-
calling versus emailing?
So they know
I don't
you're
know.
real.
Yeah,
So they know
just
you're not just scamming
just to like, I mean, honestly, companies do this all the time where they install a automated answering system just so that they don't have to talk to as many people because you're not going to call unless you actually want to talk to somebody.
Sure.
You wait.
Did you try to reach? I don't know why we're doing this on the podcast, but did you reach out to the guy?
The people want to know.
Did you reach out to the
I
guy
wanna
that sold
know.
it to you?
I got like 90. So I got pretty like 90% of a message started and took like screenshots of our message.
Oh, sure.
Me and him like found his like profile, like took a ton of screenshots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna threaten to sue him if.
Sue him?
Yeah, if it comes to it.
threaten.
Yeah, I mean.
Did you say you're gonna like review bomb him and then say I'll take it off if you get me the pieces?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm gonna start with. Well, I'm gonna be like, hey, so like, were you gonna tell me that you accidentally dropped it in your car and that's why the box is a little messed up, and you didn't take anything out of this? Were you gonna tell me that that was a lie, like after I bought it and got to bag 9, or what?
Yeah. Anyways, well, this has been the Rogue Podcast. Thanks so much for watching, listening. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment if you think we said anything stupid, which I'm sure we did.
That will last like 10 minutes.
We will for sure be back after episode 1 of Mando. I think that's probably the next time we'll be on, is my guess.
That is my guess. Unless
Props.
Bad Batch just totally...
Yeah, if Bad Batch does something crazy, we'll definitely hop on for another pod. But until then, may the Force...
Hop on the pod, boys.
May the Force be with you always. Wait, I had to hit stop recording.